All right, hey folks, so I've got my two nearly identical frost mages here in Halls of Stone. I've been doing some mage duo farming in here, just farming gold and having fun. And largely what I'm doing is what pretty much all classes can do a version of this, or a lot of classes can do it. Warriors and DKs are farming in here. Mages that are much more skilled than I are actually farming this solo and using it to boost. But I just really like doing mage duo, and for me, it's much more comfortable. It makes this a lot easier. You can clear a little bit more. So I'm going to show what my farming run is and what kind of gold I get in just one of these. And I'm doing largely 3 pulls, but you can do a little bit more. Sometimes I add in a 4th pull. But I'm going to start off doing this hallway, and I'll pull with one of my guys. And I want to get this giant back here too. So I'll run up here and Nova these guys first, and then make sure I get an Ice Lance on that giant. Sometimes you get this pack back here. I didn't this time. And then Ice Block. I almost died there because my Ice Block was on cooldown. And I blow pretty much all of my cooldowns on this first pack. And the reason is that I want to kill them really quick because there's constructs in here that charge you and will kill you pretty much right away. So I'm just blizzarding these down with Icy Veins, and you can see pretty much everything dies pretty fast. Sick my elementals on this giant. Almost died there to him, but got him killed. And ended up blinking through the door, but that's okay. So I run right back in. So that's the first pull. That was messier than it usually is. Usually you can get them almost all the way killed in that pack there. So I'll start my loot appraiser. I'm using DBM market average or TSM market average here. I'll see what I get. So you get a lot of cloth and a lot of Relics of Ulduar here, which is the main thing that feeds your gold. You end up getting usually a lot of greens, some blues, and I'm doing all of my looting on my engineer. There's a green. Because it gives you an extra chance to loot. And you can see that was pretty lucky there. I got a volatile blasting trigger. Sometimes you get handfuls of cobalt bolts. And then usually you get these whizzly bang word out gizmo grays that you can just sell for some raw gold. So I usually, or sometimes when I get that giant that I pulled here, I'll get this pack of 3 also here, which makes this whole pull just a little bit easier. I'm actually going to clear them out of the way, sort of cheating just a little bit. And I mean, you can see how easy this stuff is with 2 mages because you have double your Novas, you have double your Blizzards. I mean, this is just a pack of 3, so it's pretty easy. But that's like the whole strategy here. And so I get them out of the way because now the next pull is actually the most similar pull to what you do when you're soloing this. And I've soloed it before where you invis pass, you come up here, you pull this, and you pull everything around this circle, and then you just AoE everything, sort of line of sighting, kiting them around the circle here. But you'll see my strategy with 2 is just a little bit different. So I get this guy ready to kite. I make sure that I have my ice block and my boots ready to go. Come up here, I'll let that pack down to my left pat by. Pull these. Pull those. Pull this guy. Run past with rocket boots. Wanted to pull them, but that was I couldn't select them for some reason, so I almost died there, but I think I'm still good. And blink out and blink into my other Mage's Blizzard. There you can see. And from here, it's just kiting, and this is what you do when you're kiting this yourself. And it's pretty sketchy, like it's hard. You gotta really time your Frost Novas, you gotta use your pet for a freeze, you should be stealing the buff on some of these casters, which gives you a haste buff. But you can see that with 2 mages, it's pretty comfortable, even with the giant, who actually will catch up to you even when he's blizzarded 100% of the time. You still got to throw in a Nova every so often. But you can see, like, this is cake with 2 mages. You're just alternating, throwing your blizzards down, and everything is already dying. I can hear there. I'm blizzarding every so often, and I'm just getting around the corner to LOS the lightning that they throw. And you want to be behind these pillars. It's much more important LOSing. You can eat quite a bit of the lightning and be okay, especially if you have Mage Armor and Dampen Magic up. It's much more important to LOS when you have the constructs that you're kiting around here which charge you. And then of course they would catch up to you. So let's see, did we get them all? Yeah, that's it. So then I'll drink with this guy. I'll just loot with 1 to keep track of what I'm getting here. So that was the second pull. I think it's 11 mobs or 13. Let's see, I'll count them. 1. They're underneath here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see a lot of relics of Ulduar. A lot of raw gold. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. All right, so that was the second pull. And the third one is another set. See, I like killing these guys, these Dark Rune guys, because they drop a lot of the relics. They're pretty easy to kill, as opposed to these constructs, which, see, this Raging Construct I think will charge you. And these little guys are no good. I think when you're boosting, they actually give you XP, but they don't give you any loot if you're just in here for gold, so it's kind of pointless. So I'm just getting these ones out of the way real quick. They just die with a couple of blizzards. I'll re-mana up. Oops, I'm out of food here. And then my next pull is going to be this, a pack of 3 back here, and then 1 pack that's to the right over here. So I will, and I always want to make sure my ice block is up. That's a killer if it's not. So I'll run in here and grab that guy, that guy, that pack, and that pack. Ice block. This guy's in position. I'm letting everything coalesce around my ice block. And then blink out, and just for comfort, I'll run using my boots. Use a health potion, get a little higher. And since that's, I think, a charger one, I'll get out of line of sight right away, and I'm just casting 6. That might not charge, actually. It might just be the relenting constructs that charge. But at any rate, it's good practice to LOS all of this. Some of those casters will cast that green beam on you, which does kind of a lot of damage. So I'm just staying nice and tight to the circle, running sometimes even before my blizzard's up, because I don't have to be as efficient here with 2 mages. Pretty cake. And that's the last one. So like that'd be the main set of pulls that I would do here. And you can see that's pretty quick. Like I'm 7 minutes in here. And of course 12.5 minutes is the magic number for 5 instances per hour. So now I would stay and do, there's a green. Usually you'll get more greens. Sometimes you get blues. There's a nice blade that drops in here, this guy, this unrelenting blade. And then there's actually a ring you can get, palladium ring or something like that, a blue ring, which really sells pretty good on my server. I've sold 2 of them for 95 gold, which is pretty nice. But then beyond that, it's just a lot of cloth. And of course the relics and so on. So I've got some more time here, so I will try, I went the long way around again. The next pull, which is a little bit harder because of the charging constructs, which normally I will try and stay away from. I could also run down and get a couple more packs of the dark iron guys or whatever they were called that are down here. There's 2 more packs of those guys which you can get to, but I'll try this harder thing here, which is Actually, this is kind of out of position now. I'm going to go back and do this poll. So these are all just time fillers. If I was to 12 minutes already because I died or whatever, I'd go back and reset right away. But instead, I'll get this pack and another one that's down here. And just for the heck of it, I'll get these crystal guys out of the way first. You can see I use I play a little bit different than most people. Most people do their kiting, you know, by going sideways. And I like to reverse my camera a lot and just look behind me like that. I've just gotten used to it for kind of years of degenerate Mage AoE farming. I bind flip camera to my R key. It's easy to get confused, but I've gotten pretty used to it. So I'll actually use my elemental to run down here and grab these guys. And I want to sort of stay out so that this guy doesn't aggro onto me. So see, that guy's on me now. Okay, now everything's pulled. Go for the water elemental, I'll stack everything up and start killing these guys here. And just back to the main sort of core of this strategy is just kiting around this circle. I got my other guy ready to go. He can actually drop a blizzard up here while Mage 1 freeze runs over to here. And just as they're about to cast, I get the heck out of dodge and run over here, and now they run into the second blizzard. And again, if I was playing better, I would be using cooldowns on these, really kill them quick, but it's just not quite necessary. You can do this pretty clean. These pulls are pretty easy, and again, I mean, I'm not making as much gold as you would if you're soloing this or you get people in boosting. But I kind of have a long history of doing these boosts and then just doing it myself for the gold. I did Mara a lot, just solo, and just loot all the 350 mobs I would kill. I did a lot of slave pens the same way. I did a lot of duo in Shadow Labs. Look at this guy, he's gonna kill me here. I did a lot of duo in Shadow Labs, and the whole reason for that was just that I liked it and was practicing. But I found that just going in my own time and quickly going in and doing 5 instances, I would get a lot of gold, as opposed to, you know, waiting for the boosties and taking time to recruit them, and we got to wait for one to get there. It was just faster for me to just hard charge through and just do my farming myself. So that's what I had done. All right, I will try one more pull, which is the hardest, and I don't normally do this one because you can see I'm at 11.5 minutes. I'm almost at my instance cap now, and I would just run out and reset and just do this again. Get ready here, get in position, and this one I'm going to be all the way over to here because I want to LOS with this pillar. So I'm going to pull this giant and 2 constructs that are down in here, and this giant and 2 constructs that are there, and 4 more that are in the back. So it's a big pull. I really should be full health. And the challenge here is, of course, the constructs is challenge number 1 because they charge you, but the giants are just like super fast. So I start off with a pet freeze, and then I am out of here. And because this guy will catch up to me, they just run insanely fast. Even though I have so much distance now with the blink in there. Coming up on this guy, I'll sick my water elemental on this giant so that I can pull past him. And I want to Nova these 2 so that I can run between. Miss that guy, unfortunately, which isn't good. Put my pet freeze on them. You can see I am like already in trouble here. and ice block. So not quite clean, but now I'm in my ice block. They're all coming up. I want them all to coalesce around me here and blink out and run with boots. And you can see even with running, these two giants will catch up to me. I'm going to have to Nova them as I come around this corner. And I got one more blink in me. All right, so now I'm good. I'm going to start my blizzard right there. They're not quite coming yet, but that's all right. They'll be here soon. Start one more. And I'm being pretty quick about my blizzards because I want to try and make sure I'm LOSing that charge right there, because that's a killer if you get too many of those chained on you. Keeping my shields up. And fortunately, the ones that charge have pretty low health, like they die pretty quick. The lightning ones have more and they do a lot more damage, but I'm already out of mana on this guy. Okay, I can hear everybody dying back there. And that's it. So that's like the last pull here. Drink up on this guy, and I die a lot on this pull, I'll be honest with you. That one went pretty clean because I stayed pretty tight. And you engineer those guys. It's pretty good in my LOS. And there's a little bit of RNG. You can get different types of constructs in that back four. It's not always all lightning, I think. And this is as much as I'd kill in here. There's a few more mobs you can kill past Bran or whoever he is back in there. And a couple more down in the cave where those crystal guys were. But like, this is enough. And engineer these. This guy we can start heading out. Oops, totally keep going the wrong way. One more over here. And engineer him. All right, so not my luckiest run, but that's it. You can see, so 16 minutes, a little bit slower than it should be. I should try for 12. And 102 gold in items, 17 gold, and 17 gold each because I'm splitting it between this. So, you know, would have been, call it 35 gold. So, you know, 135, 140 gold worth of stuff in this 15 minutes or so. So that's the farm. Hopefully this helps if you want to try it. If you've got two mages, it's a lot of fun, and it's an alternative to some of the other gold farms with the boosting in here. Anyway, thanks for watching.